All right, cool. I'm going to teach you today a couple of things. That be okay? Yes. Anybody want to learn how to get a yes? Yes. You know, when I got my first yes, how cool is that? You know, especially when you want to ask someone to marry you, yes is very important. You want to be in business, getting yes. And I've got a bit of a presentation that I'm going to zoom by because I only have a very short period of time to be with you guys. So let's go back. Well, there you go. Forbes. Forbes is my first name. Forbes as in what? The magazine. No, that's always going to stick with you. My last name is Riley. Riley stands for the good life. I love having fun. I love enjoying my life, and I want you guys to do the same. And I'll tell you what, if I can teach you how to get anything and everything you want in life, would that be good? Yeah, especially, that's my third yes. One more yes and I get a credit card. And that goes for all of you. The more yeses you get, I'm not here to teach sales. I am known as the queen of pitch. That's with a P, just so you know. No. So if you want to know the key to my success, give me a yes. Yes. Where's your credit card? No, just kidding. I promised I would do that, right? I'm going to be totally silly. I'm going to go very fast. Funny thing in my life, when I hear a bad pitch, and I heard one at lunch. Where's my girl from lunch? Come on, fess up. She was here. She's like, my pitch sucks. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because you've got a great idea, great product. You're a great person. When you communicate it, you suck. And when you do that, the communication stops. And I mean that with all sincerity. If you don't know how to introduce yourself and let the other person get excited about you, it goes nowhere. I have managed to leave every event I've ever done with a stack of business cards because I understand what? The art of the pitch. Yeah. So, for me it started, I'm going to go very quickly, so just listen faster. That's my beautiful dad. That would be me at 1 year old. And my dad was a magician, he was a dreamer, he was an inventor. I grew up doing magic tricks. I grew up being on stage, literally getting doves kind of flying out everywhere. And it taught me a lot about presentation. It also taught me to lie very well. Look over here, because I'm doing something here. And that's a very funny skill. It's not lying, it's actually what? Manipulation, and you all love it. You especially love it with magicians. And so I got that kind of training when I was a very, very early age. He built that printing press, having never graduated college. He was this crazy dreamer. And I grew up in a very weird little time where having a dad who was completely crazy did not make you popular. You know, it made you the weird family. No, seriously, that is me driving. That is a half a garbage can, a lawnmower engine, some paper mache, and I'm Batgirl. I know, right? But here's the problem. I thought it was incredibly cool, and now that I look at it decades later, I'm like, Dad, that was awesome. He's long gone. But here's what he did one day. He sat in his garage with me, and that's what I remember his garage looking like, full of ideas. I'm 8 years old. He said, kiddo, how do I get my inventions out to the world? I said, Dad, I have no idea. I'm 8. When he died, all of his dreams and all the cute things he made for me became garbage. People pick through that. I'm going to ask you to stop taking flash if you don't mind, because I'm so weirdly sensitive. I will pose for you all day long, but I'm going to focus on everybody here. When that happened, my heart shattered. It became trash. So the book that you've got in your head, the project that you're not doing, the dream that you're not fulfilling, when you die, guess what? It's trash. Nobody cares. If you don't live the dream, if you don't set out to do something and achieve it, nobody cares. If you miss that opportunity of seeing a girl that's really cute and you don't say hi, that could be the future mother of your kids, but you were too nervous to figure out how to connect to her. The business that you wanted to start, but you got in the way, or somebody said, oh, you can't do it. Anyone ever say that in your life? You know what? I'm a no collector. Write this down. And by the way, there's a book there for you that I've created. Please take notes inside of it. There's some free gifts. There's all kind of crazy things. Grab a book. The first thing you could write is N-O, but don't write it the way other people do. N-O this way, never-ending opportunity. The next time you hear a no, I want you to think about me. I've become a no collector. People have told me no my whole life. Who do you think you are? You can't do that? Well, I'll tell you what. When somebody says you can't, this is where I'm going to tell you to go. So really quick, is it okay if I tell you a bit about me? Yes. Okay, very, very fast. I was a cute girl till about 8, and then we realized I had a very weird job. Now, my mother was a bit of a hoarder, immigrant, daughter, only child. She saved everything, including the first impression of my teeth. 1968. Some of you weren't even thought of yet. But that's my mouth. There was something really wrong with it. And an orthodontist, a very evil man, put this little girl in braces for 8 years. Now, when you're little, and I'm looking at some very pretty girls here, didn't you want to just be pretty when you're little? Do you want to fit in? Hard to fit in when not only do you have a mouthful of metal, but he put this thing in my mouth. And so for 2 years, I couldn't talk to anybody. Nobody could understand a word that I said. And it made a very ugly, awkward, lonely little girl who not only had this in her mouth, but hit a baseball bat and broke my nose, and now I'm overweight, I've got a crooked nose, frizzy hair. Not only do I not have any friends, and don't feel bad for me, I didn't realize how bad it was till I got older. I watched a lot of TV, a lot of movies. I wanted to be James Bond, and I wanted to live a life that I saw other people had that we didn't have in our little 1,000-square-foot house. Anybody relate to this? Where you just didn't fit in, you weren't part of the cool table? Congratulations. Because I believe, write this one down, that life happens for you. I've now teach people to celebrate not the great things, but the bad things. Because that's what you tell stories about, that's what motivates you, and that's what you become successful in spite of all the things that happen to you. So not one of you has an excuse that I'm willing to listen to. I didn't have any money growing up. My dad, who cares? I hear that story every day. I was molested, I was raped. I don't care. It's not happening now. Now you have the decision. You have the choice to go, I'm going to move forward if you choose to. And a crazy thing, it's only up to you. It's not some teacher, some mom, some dad. It all comes down to you every morning. Who do you believe in? You. What practice do you do to have enough self-esteem to stand on a stage here and tell my story, to tell your story? And so the crazy thing is my beautiful dad was working one day and he slipped in one of his printing presses and he cut the whole front of his hand off. I'm 15 years old. I get that call that no one ever wants to get. Your dad's in the hospital. He's not coming out for 3 years. 15 operations. So now not am I the ugly, awkward, lonely little kid. I have no high school. I don't even know we have a football and a baseball team because every day after school I go home to see my dad. And at home, I went to the hospital. And I learned crazy, amazing lessons. I love nurses. I watched people die. I learned life inside of a hospital room. Wow, it's a crazy story I bet you haven't heard today, right? Well, the crazy thing was, my mom comes to me and she's like, kiddo, I know you're smart, I know you want to go to college, but we're broke. We have no money for college, you have no scholarship. Now here's where life gets funny. Write this down if you would. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. You have a dream, something in your head. The believing is the talking about it, is telling other people this. And so my mom said, well, you know, there's this scholarship that's happening, but it's a beauty pageant. The Miss Teenage America pageant is coming and they'll give you a full scholarship. And then she looked at my face and thought, maybe not. That's a moment almost 40 years ago that I will never forget where my mom looked at me and said, not pretty, sorry. That my dad's doctor, though, overheard this conversation. And this is where if you don't talk about your dream, no one ever gets to hear it. It cannot live in your head. You've got to be brave enough to tell other people that. That doctor turned to my mother and said, I'm going to fix your daughter's nose. Who knew that could make, what difference does that make, right? Well, guess what? I went to bed a very ugly, awkward little girl who just got my braces off at 16. And I woke up the next day, and I was kind of cute. And I remember that moment where I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, you could be in a beauty pageant. I'm not sure I know who you are. I've always wanted to be you. And I took my dad, I remember he had a big bandage on his hand, and 500 girls in the first competition. And I said to my father, one of these little girls is going to be on TV with Bob Hope. And then I whispered to myself, it's going to be me. Wouldn't make any difference if the story didn't happen, right? But it did. I had a hand-me-down bridesmaid's dress, and in the middle of a local mall, I won the first competition, and then I became Miss Teenage New York, and I ended up on television with Bob Hope in the Miss Teenage America pageant. Give it up for her. First wacko dream that ever really came true. Oh my God, I built an entire life on this. And so I took her, I got to college. That's my mom. My mother was always 280 pounds my whole life. I'm a fitness expert. In a minute, I'm going to introduce you to my fitness product because I said very consciously, I love you, but I don't want to be you. And that's okay. And then I said, what do I want to be? I want to be this television actress, movie star. I've got a movie coming out in April, by the way, called Black Creek. Write that down and somehow cheer for it. But again, life happens for you. That movie happened because I became a martial artist because I got mugged in the 1980s. Well, Forbes, is everything that happens to you good happen because something bad happened? Yeah, kinda. I take everything that doesn't work and I turn it into beautifulness. And that is what I teach you to do because you'll all tell me stories about your life. I don't care. Take the story, wrap it up in a different bow, and tell it to move your life forward. Stop complaining, bitching, and moaning about it. Those days are over. They're really over. All right, so I have 3 secrets to teach you real quick. One is begin with the end in mind. That's a magician thing. If you're going to cut a girl in half, you pretty would need to know how the trick's going to end at the end. Otherwise, you got to send a note to him going, sorry, I cut your daughter in half, and I didn't know. Begin with the end in mind. So to that end, let me play with something. Still have my magician roots. Love the magician part of me. Let me take this little piece of paper on the floor there. Would you mind grabbing that for me? Always get people to do something for you. Thank you so very much. That's a skill. Requesting things on an often basis, right? Okay, blank piece of paper right here. Right here. Can I ask you a question? Is that okay?
Yes.
Let me make a prediction about you. I'm just meeting you. Would you like to see something cool?
Sure.
How did I know who's going to say yes? That's the trick. Oh my God. Oh my God, right? No, but I'm going to tell you something. If you in business know the answer to the question before you ask it, you win. I knew he was going to say yes. Why? Because of the way I asked the question. A lot of you ask me questions all the time. So tell me about your life, or why did you do? No, when you're in business, if you ask the right questions, you get the answers that you want. 3 of these, you get what? Credit card. And I'm not kidding about that. But yes is everything in life. Okay, so to that point, I created a program called 1 Minute to Millions. And it is about how you introduce yourself. You're all going to network here, and if I could make your networking better, you can leave with business cards, connections, influence. You'd be surprised who's in the room here. I've already made a deal out in the hallway. How many of you made a deal so far? What are you waiting for? You're here, okay? I got one over there. But some of you are like, what could 1 minute do for me? I don't know, try to buy 1 minute on the Super Bowl last week, right? $13 million for a minute. You'd be surprised what you can do in just a minute. Now, I know I only got a couple of minutes, but I'm going to take a quick moment to do this. My beautiful husband is back here. Who watched the Super Bowl? Who watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger commercial? Who thought when Arnold turned young that it was his body? It's not. See that man right there? That's Joshua's self. Joshua, come on up here really quick. They took Arnold's head and put it on Joshua's body. Where did he go? Because my beautiful husband in 2 weeks is training for the Arnold Classic. It'll be his 3rd time winning this. He also is a survivor of a horrible motorcycle accident. And for the last 4 years, when he shrunk down to absolute nothing, and he said, I'm going to go back, I said, I don't know if that's possible. But that's Arnold's body when you see it here, just so you guys know. Give it up for Joshua Self. See that? Okay, that is him. Now, I know that's so crazy. I have a product out there that I created, completely sidebar, that Joshua uses, but we all should. If you get a chance to try this on a break, please come meet me. Joshua, do you use Spin Gym?
Every day before I work out.
Really?
I warm up with it.
So here's the funny thing. So there's Arnold. That's how they made Arnold's head on Joshua's body. I just thought you'd get a kick out of this. In a week it won't matter, but right now it's so freaking cool. Do me a favor, look up Joshua Self, write that down. I am Mrs. Self. I love this man so much, and he does use this. But you know what they're not seeing? They're not seeing your muscles. You're not going to forget my presentation if you get, come on guys, it makes great video. Come on. Ah! I bet you didn't know that was under there. All right, so really, thank you, my love. If you got it, flaunt it. But I just want you to see what this does. Do you guys, just turn around for a second. This is the coolest fitness product. Is he going to win the Arnold? Could you give him some love? Yes, absolutely. I love you so much. My husband lets me do that to him. Is that like the sickest thing in the world? Thank you, my baby. But the other, give him a up for him. Oh, shit. You okay?
Yep.
Well, he still suffers from an ankle that's fractured, that is never going to be the same. So I'm going to tell you something. I learned 2 things from this man. One, I learned what love is. The reason I'm here is because I finally figured out what it means to have somebody care about you so much. I did not have that in my life for most of my life. I saw the fairy tales and thought they were bullshit. And then he found me, and everything changed. I highly recommend you find one person in this life who believes in all the craziness of you. And you're not going to be perfect, and that's okay, because I'm far from perfect. And he loves all my imperfections, not a joke. The second thing, he hurts every day. He doesn't walk very well. Yet he got up every day. He goes to the gym every day. How many of you, when you don't feel like it, you don't go? He does. I sleep next to a champion, and my entire life has changed. And I just wanted you to experience him. Okay. I love you guys for that. All right, so real quick, magic of the pitch. I'm going to go really fast through all of this. How I learned to pitch was, it was an audition. The pen was on the table, and it said, sell me this pen. When you don't go up with money, selling is a really awkward word. Money is uncomfortable. I looked at the camera, and I said, something funny about this pen. When I was growing up in college, I was really young when I got there. My mom used to write me longhand notes every day. I would race to the mailbox to get them so I could be close to her, and a pen like this can reach out and touch somebody's heart. Well, guess what? Jacob, bodied by Jake, came around from the camera, said, "You're going to make me a lot of money. I am the absolute queen of pitching. I'll let you guys, I'm not going to play any of the video because we just don't have time. All I know is that Jake sold the network that I worked for 5 years for $500 million. Then infomercials happened. And I am the queen of infomercials. I've hosted 197, now 97. That's Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Made hundreds of millions of dollars with pitching. If you look up Kim Kardashian on YouTube and Forbes Riley, you'll see her first job was not keeping up with the Kardashians, but selling a steam iron for me. Kind of crazy, right? You didn't know that. Same thing with George Foreman. Everyone here remember the George Foreman grill? Over $300 million with a pitch that I helped create. So you guys, wait, I don't understand the whole pitch thing. I then have been on tour as one of the only female speakers who gets to grace a stage like this, and I'm encouraging other women to get on stage and find their voices because there's not enough of us. If you're a woman, raise your hand. If you want to be one, no, just kidding. In today's day and age, I don't know what to say. It sounds like a weird thing. Everybody raise their hand. Okay, everybody's a woman. That's fine. Just don't swim next to me. No. So I take all of this to home shopping. And what I discover is 85 million viewers. If I can take my pitching skills, $55 million I did because Serena Williams could not sell Mission Cool towels, but I did. That was an incredible deal. I took my spin jam on home shopping. See that number, 55,344? Can you imagine selling that many of anything that you've made? It rolled up to $64,000. That's 1 day of sales. I got a check. The little girl who was broke growing up got a check for $1.2 million. I've grossed over $2.5 billion in my career. Okay, so enough about me. Let me do this about you guys. Everyone take out your phone. Phones are very important in my life. Scan that. I'm going to give you a free template. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to want the template. Because I have a piece of it in the book, but not the whole thing. That template, and by the way, will 2 people raise their hand? Who's the first person to get to fill their name in? I want to see the little I'm in. Take a moment, fill your name in. This is really important because I'm going to tell you something. The gift is beyond, yeah, you're going to get it. Let me see who the first person is. I got 1 here and I got 2 there. Both of you come on up here for a second. Number 1, the universe rewards speed to market. So for those of you who filled that in, I'm going to send you something that took me years to do. Can I have a microphone, please? And I'm going to introduce you guys now. What I'm going to tell you is, that's the template you're going to get. Open your books if you would. You're going to see the same template. Thank you so much. But you're only going to see the first couple of lines of it. This is a game changer. So, open that up. Just kind of keep score here. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Ryan Frost.
Put your hand down. What do you think? Ryan,
Yes.
Great accent. Where are you from?
Here.
You speak like a British guy, but you're from Phoenix. That's interesting. You really?
No, I don't know. I don't know. Do I have an accent right now? I don't know.
I don't know, do you? Ryan, what do you do?
I build community apps for entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, any sort of community.
Now, did you listen? Now, is it okay if I coach both of you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you heard what he said and how he said it. Can I steal in here? What's your name?
Madison.
Madison, what do you do?
I am a money coach.
I am a money coach. And you could say great for them, right? Did they get a yes from their pitch? No. What if you understood that when you meet somebody, that moment can shape everything? So why do you do what you do?
I'm passionate about just technology and helping people connect.
Great. Now say again what you do so that he says yes. Because here's the crazy thing. When someone asks you what you do, they don't care what you do. They care what you can do for them. Mm-hmm. So do that again.
Do you have a community?
Don't want to ask a question because if he says no, remember I started out with I always know the answer.
Okay.
So no questions. Just say what you do. I need to rehear this. I what?
I help creators create communities through their own mobile apps.
Okay. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Mm-hmm. Why do you do? When you were little, what did you want to be?
Wanted to probably be an actor.
Okay. And so you do this because?
Probably because it's my way to present myself online.
Okay, that's beautiful. How successful are you?
Pretty successful.
What is define that?
Like I pull home like $250K a year personally.
Okay, that's pretty successful, yes? All right, so what if I told you, all right, so if you had said, hey, my name is Ryan, as somebody who makes almost $1 million doing what I do in the app world, I wanted to be an actor, but now I want to make you look good. Could you get a yes from that? Kind of an interesting way to shape that, so it more becomes about him. The other thing is when you told us what you do, the energy went where? And I kind of do community. Why are you doing that? When someone asks you what they do, stop telling them. Pretend they want to know what you can do for them. Hey, Forbes, you know what? I can create you the most amazing mobile app to build your community. Are you interested? What do you say? Yes, Ryan, thank you. Interesting. This is a very hot seat, hard to be here. Miss Madison, you're a money coach. Okay, I don't even know did anyone know what a money coach is? Okay, this is the problem. And you know what you do, but we don't. So instead of telling us what you do, what can you do for us?
I help women heal their money mindset, figure out their personal finances with the goal of helping them become first-generation wealth builders.
That's a very different woman than a money coach. Now I understand, and she's talking my language. Nothing personal, Ryan, but I am a woman. Just checking. You never know, right? So, Forbes, as a woman, if you're not handling your finances, you can do what for me?
Help you get them in order.
Now let me
Build
ask a
wealth.
question. Why do you do what you do?
Well, I grew up with not a lot of money, and I want to be able
Wait, stop right there, period. Why does that not surprise me? I grew up without a lot of money. So if you then said, Forbes, as somebody who grew up with not a lot of money, my dream now is to empower women to take control of their finances.
Correct.
Isn't that nicer than saying, I'm a money coach? Will you give them both a round of applause? I'm going to give you guys a gift. There's my spin gym. Give a big round of applause. Yes! Take that if you would. I love nothing more than taking you and your pitch and tweaking it. Who believes if I did that with you, you could make more money, have a better life, get what you want? Everybody raise your hand. Yeah, and I do it fast. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I just got our first two because I believe speed to market. I'm not interested in yesterday's elevator pitch. When you start believing that the person in front of you, you can help with your product or service or affect their lives, don't miss out on it. Don't blow it by saying, I'm a blah, 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 or I help blah, blah, blah. Try just writing the word as, or in my book, the thing that you're going to notice is the first prompt says, I'm known as. Now, who thought a word could make a difference? I'm known as a money coach, or Forbes, I'm known as the money coach. Damn. The word known means that she's somehow famous. The gives you this sense of wow. And all of a sudden, the person listening to you has this moment of going, cool, you must be an expert in what you do. I'll give you a little bit more window, and I will listen to you. When many of you pitch what you do, the other person, and watch their eyes, stops listening. Ever been pitched where you're like, could they just finish? That's nice, that's nice. And it goes nowhere. I don't have enough time for that. That what do you do question will change your life, give you the confidence in who you are to make more money and get what you want. Now, is it easy? Yes, but it's not simple. So I put together something crazy for you guys. I'm going to tell you when you get this clarity equals confidence. And the third thing is there are systems to everything that we do in life. I uncovered the pitching systems, okay? Who here ever wanted to learn how to swim? Did you read a book about it? You can't learn to swim from a book. You can't learn to ride a bike from a book. You cannot learn to communicate from a book. So what I'm doing, and I'm doing this, I don't do these a lot. I have a whole other career of things that I make a lot of money doing. But I so strongly believe that your pitch will influence and persuade people when you get it right. Who here would like a better pitch? Who here is willing to spend 5 days with me? Some of you are like, I don't know. What have you got to lose, right? Well, no, the next question is, who here thought, how much is it? Right, immediately said the how much. Okay, can I totally shatter that for you? This is what I'm going to do. If it was free, you wouldn't show up. I learned that the hard way. Great lesson for you. When you offer something free, it sounds like it's a great deal. People don't value it. You give me a gift, it's a $14 watch or a $14,000 watch. Which one do you put in the vault? But they both only tell time. So you value what you pay for. But watch this. I'm going to do something insane. In 2 weeks, I am doing a live boot camp. I only do a couple of them in a year. It happens to be the right time right now. It's called 1 Minute to Millions. It is going to be every single day from the 26th to that whole week, 21 to whatever that week is. And there's a bonus about this. I'm going to teach this every day live. I'm also going to get you to pitch in front of my entire audience at the end of this. If I gave you 200 people virtually to pitch in front of, and you coached on that, do you think you might make money back? Right. And how much money would you make? Well, there's no limit to that. I'll tell you, I made $200,000 in the same hour. Some people make nothing. I watched Russell Brunson make $3.1 million in the same hour. That's your choice. You don't even realize when you pitch what you're going to get, okay? So I'm going to make you an insane offer. Would that be okay? No, seriously, a freaking insane offer. Forbes, how insane could it be? Okay, that's what I set out last night to go, how insane could I make this for you guys? And I only have 5 minutes left. So is it $5,000? Yeah, I get my value. What if I told you whatever the price is, you could bring a friend here? Who's got a friend they could bring for free? Your business partner, your friend, somebody who's not in this room. Look at these empty chairs. There's so many people who don't know what we're up to. Your friend, if they could pitch better, they could buy you lunch next time, right? Not kidding, right? Your husband, your boyfriend, if he's not doing all that he can be doing. So number one, you're going to bring your friend for free. Number two, take out your phone, just to have it, because I'm only going to do this once. And I'm going to do something crazy as a speed to market thing. It's not $5,000. You're still going to bring a friend for free. It's not going to be $1,500. It's going to be $100. Right, thank you, come on, seriously? 5 days live with me will be $100. And that's it. And if you don't take advantage of it, I would go, huh, why? And then if you're really smart, you go, wait a second, I can get my friend to give me the $100 back. Just saying. I didn't go with money, I'm very creative. But here's the crazy thing about this. Not only do we spend every day together, but I will let you pitch at the very end. Everyone tells you don't pitch. I'm going to tell you I want you to pitch. I want you to not only make your money back, I want the story that says, Forbes, I made $10,000 pitching your people because I used your system. That is what I want. I want you to make $10,000 using my system to pitch my people. Okay? Here's the next bonus for some of you who are not taking action right now. For the first 25 of you who say yes, the day before, I'm going to do a private one-on-one with all you guys online, okay, virtually. I'm going to get to know your name, I'm going to tell you what we're working on, and then we will start the training. But only the first 25 people who say yes. You know why? Because those are my action takers. The rest of you who are sitting there contemplating about a $100 investment, I adore you, would have coffee with you, but then I'd have to pay for it. Just kidding. I have the same $100 story. My daughter came to me at 14. She's a beautiful young woman, very smart. She said, Mom, can I have $100 for Bitcoin? I said, no, I don't know what a Bitcoin is. And no, you're a kid. I'm not giving you $100. She came to me a couple of months later. Mom, can I have $500 for Bitcoin? I'm like, no, I'm not giving you $500 for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hit $66,000 for a Bitcoin that I could have had for $100, I've never forgotten that moment. Anybody take me up on that when you did the 100? Yeah.
My husband tried it and I said no.
Right, because you didn't.
I've read it every day since.
Right, because you just didn't know. Let me tell you something. Hanging out in my community with my people, I'm on a mission right now. I can be doing a lot of things, but because that man back there loves me so much, what my daughter said to me was, Mom, you never need to work again. That would be great. You made your money, and when you die, no one's going to remember. But if you teach what you know, and you can help other people make that kind of financial freedom, so they can take the kind of vacations that we grew up with or live in the house that we do, that my parents never saw. That's my legacy. So getting to work with you is my greatest joy. It's why I'm here. I was in North Carolina last night, and I will be in LA tomorrow, and I'm here because I get a sense of the community, of the organizers. Let's give it up for them. There are some very beautiful people that believe that the Arizona entrepreneurship is a growing, emerging market. And I am so proud to be part of this, just so you know. You do get to bring a friend for free. It's $100 for you guys. But I will tell you what, that's going to go away at the end of tonight. I can't leave that offer out there. There's people who paid a whole lot more, but they're not you. Okay? So there's the link. I think you can find it there. The last thing I want to leave you with. So if you've entered your information, congratulations. I'm looking at some of the people in the first 25. Can we, maybe you guys want to finish that in a minute too. Well, finish if you can, real quick. Thank you very much. And I'm going to know who's in here. I have an insanely photographic memory, and I give more than you would ever imagine because it's all that I'm doing right now. It's made, guys, 2 months I turned 64 years old. I hate saying that because your grandma's probably 64. I don't think I look like your grandma. And I say this because I know there's a limited number of time left on the planet. How do I know this? Because that's one of the first pictures I have of my dad, and that's the last picture I have of my dad. And when I do these speeches, I get to hang out with him and feel the love and the energy. But I remember the lesson that he taught me, and it was one big lesson, and I'm doing it right now. We all here live the dash. Well, right now, you are my dash, okay? Meeting you, looking in your eyes, seeing where you're going, see if I can help service what you're up to. Because I would like you, unless you're still typing, put your stuff down for a quick second. Just join me. And if you can make sure that song will play, the right song, thank you. There are people in this room who we've all lost. Anybody lose somebody they care about? The dream, like my dad's dream, ends right there. There is a moment when your dream will end, and we all think that we've got unlimited time, and I know for a fact we don't. My dad, when he was diagnosed with cancer, he was in the hospital with me, and he said, I'm going to die, aren't I? And I remember saying, no, dads don't die. Not you. I didn't know somebody that close could die. He said, come with me. I want to take a walk. I want to share something with you. I've watched you your whole life. You've been on Broadway and done movies and traveled around the world and done extraordinary things, and I led a very small life. I don't have any complaints because I have you and your mom and your sister, but I never jumped. I never got out of my comfort zone. So we're walking around the hospital, and there's all these cords. There's construction going on. He's got his little IV. And he said, I'm going to jump. I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad, what? And he literally jumped over the cords and fell down on the floor. Everyone comes running over to him. He looks up at me, and he says, kiddo, it's too late for me, but please help other people, because I think you're on this planet to do that. It's a promise I made my dad. Would you all stand up? Put your hand on your heart. Is there one dream that if you could fulfill it right now, maybe to make your parents proud, maybe to make you proud for the rest of your life, what's that one dream? Close your eyes and think about it just for a second. Get in touch with that, and let's do my dad the biggest service I could imagine. I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and we're just going to scream the word jump, because you will never forget how important that dream is if we do this correctly. Take a big breath. 3, 2, 1. Put your hands together. Put them over your head. Come on. I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear me when I shout it out loud. It's my life, it's now or never. Come on, overhead. Gonna be forever. Look at that face. I just wanna live my life. Come on. Woo! Give me 5. It's. Come on. Like Frankie said, I didn't want my way. I just wanna live my life. One more time, really loud. My life. And you know what? Put your hands up for participating and helping me. You get that one. You get that one. And for being one of my first 25, I know you got that one. You guys, I will hang outside. I want to be here for the other speakers. I love Jay Brissett and Pace I've never met. I hope you guys feel insanely special. I hope you feel like being in this room made a difference, and that you promise me you're going to do something amazing. Find me on social media and say, Forbes, because of you, I did whatever. Because of you, my kids are going to do whatever. That's the greatest thank you that you could give me.